Just setting the live stream up, please bear with me. Okay, I think we're just about there. Moment ago. It's working now. Okay, so hopefully this is going to carry on working. It's working now, that's the main thing. Okay, so we are in Papua New Guinea. Have I done a pre-order for 2024? Yes, I have. Which is why I've got... Okay, is it working now? It's working better than it was. I think my USB hub is playing up. Or there's just too many wires on the desk, maybe. This is one of the problems of streaming with the simulator. The desk generally looks like spaghetti junction. Because we've got controllers and speakers and microphones and all manner of things. So let's go and have a look around. Now we seem to have everything working. So the telltale if the sound has gone wrong is that I won't be able to hear my own voice. So this evening we are taking a look at Papua New Guinea from Orbx. So Pack 3 has been released of the Papua New Guinea airfields. So we're going to go for a race around them in the Beaver, which should be good fun. So the first one we're looking at, actually before we get into that, I'm going to ask some questions from the live stream. So Andy is asking, have I pre-ordered 2024? Yes, I have, which is why I've got the Canadair CL415 that I did a video of at 2 o'clock this morning. So as you can imagine, I'm quite tired. But I thought I'd go around and do this because this looked like a fun thing to go do. And I like the old stick rudder skills with the aeroplanes. So let's go and have a look at our route this evening. We're going to do as many as we can before we get tired, basically. So we're starting off at Noain. We're in Papua New Guinea, by the way. So if you don't know where that is in the world, if we zoom out on the map, it's north of Australia. It's the giant island north of Australia. And we're going to go and do a lot of these hilltop airstrips, basically. So we're starting off at Noain airstrip, or is it Namani or Noain? So Alpha Yankee November Oscar, and we'll follow the route around. So let's go and see if we can remember how to get this airplane started up. So I'm going to pop the yoke off for the moment, make sure that we've got controls working. We do probably need to go in here and choose the appropriate control profile for the quadrant, which I haven't done ahead of time because I never plan anything. So I want the single engine with propeller control. That would be a good one. Apply, go back, resume. So then I get... So I've got two levers here, basically. So I'll go for a rich mixture. We are at... Yeah, we're at 1,200 feet. Look. Oh, no, we're not. What altitude are we at? $6,000 feet. Okay, so this is showing thousands, hundreds. Interesting. Okay. Okay, that's showing marks up to 10,000, I guess. Yeah, so 6,180-ish feet. Anyway, let's go and get this thing fired up. So is there anything we have to do over here? Actually, have we got access to a better radio? We've got GPS. Or we just get the option of GPS. Okay, we don't get anything fancy. We can't go and put the TDS in, for example. And we can't get rid of the tablet, I don't think either, but it's fine. We'll just turn it off. Okay, so let's go and see about starting this airplane up, if I can remember how to do it. So we are going to need some fuel, actually, before we get started. So we'll give it 80% fuel load. Oh, while we're here, let's go and get rid of our co-pilot. Otherwise, they're going to get in our way looking around as we're flying along. There we go. We're doing this all on our own. Not a problem. Or hopefully not a problem. I'm just re-familiarizing myself with what is where around the Beaver. So battery and alternator on. And then we'll go and put the fuel boost pump on. Go and set both magnetos. Rich mixture. Open the engine slightly and... we appear to have an engine running, and there's plenty of things rattling around, so we can go and deal with those, and we can go and tighten up the clutches on the levers so they don't drive us insane wobbling around, and we can go then and turn off that fuel boost pump for the moment. Where's the RPM? We're just ticking over very slowly at the moment, aren't we? Just looking around the cockpit to see what's where. We probably want... I thought I put the beacon light on. Nav light on. Interesting. Anyway, let's go and get the avionics switched on. So radio's on. We'll use a sensor fuel tank for the moment. Okay, so I'm just having a quick look around to see what this aeroplane has got, because I can't remember. So as the oil flaps, we'll go and get the GPS up. We should have the route programmed in. I loaded it in to the world map screen, which will save us a little bit of time. So we're just going to fire up the GPS. Yeah, I was looking for the RPM, wasn't I? Oh, it's up here. So we probably want to go out to about... So we're already at 6,000 feet, remember, so we'll put the mixture back. Yeah, it's sounding a lot happier. Okay, so while we're sitting on the ground, let's go and have a little look at our route. We're going to be... I'll show you on the Orbx website, which has changed pages, bizarrely. It's the Highland Bush Strips Pack 3 that I've just installed. So we're at the first of them. So these are the airports it covers, which is basically this group down here. So, but we're going to carry on round and do the whole of Bush Pack 3, 2 and 1 all in one go. Or hopefully, if I don't fall asleep at the wheel. So, GPS is fired up. Let's go and put that on rose mode straight away and increase the range. So you can see it's going to be quite fast navigation around. And we're going to be doing most of it visually. So before we go anywhere, it's not really fair to leave here without having a look around, is it? So we'll take the head tracking off and let's go for a nose around our first airfield. So you do have figures around in the airfield. So if you like bush flying, this scenery, these bush strips from Orbx are fantastic. So if we go and have a look around, it's like a hillside community around here. So we've got rocks and buildings and people, so let's come down here and have a look at this one. And animals. It's very cool, isn't it? So let's go over the other side of the strip and have a look. Again, somebody with their chickens. You can see alongside the strip there's obviously boulders and there's a few markers around and a nice fence and then the hillside. Okay, so we'll go and quickly whiz back to our aeroplane. So we're going to taxi up the hill, I guess, and then take off downhill. Let's go and have a look. So there's the strip. So if we're going to be turning left to take off, yeah, that will be into the wind. So those are the contours down the hill, which is quite handy. There's only a couple of knots of wind anyway. Okay, this is where I have to start earning my keep, isn't it? Need a bit of power to go up this incline. Let's put the flaps down. We'll just run long off the end of the... We don't need flaps for this. So we'll orbit each airfield that we leave to go and have a look at them. Though some of them will be orbiting on the way in, obviously, to go and see what we're going to see along the way. Keep it on the airspeed. Okay, so we should be able to see over on the GPS our first airfield to visit is Alpha Yankee Oscar Zulu. Let's just go and wave goodbye to this one as we come past. They do look great, don't they? So that first airfield was Namani or Noain, I don't know how you pronounce it. And then we're going to go south for 7 miles down to Kora. So we need to keep an eye on these hills. And I need to be careful not to stall. So there are some houses up on the crest of the hill up here. Should we go and fly low over them? If I keep them out of the left side, seeing as I'm sat this side of the aeroplane, we'll have half a chance of being able to see them. Let's go and also check the volumes. So yeah, I've left the sim volume turned right up. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. Okay, so we've got to fly down this way. Let's just trim the aeroplane out. Let's go in a fairly straight line. So this is the latest beta of LittleNavMap, by the way. It's got this rather nice solid line now that you're flying. So we go across the valley and then on the ridge on the other side. So if we go and look, there's the valley, so it's up here somewhere is the airstrip. So we'll just trundle across at about 100 knots. We haven't got our lights on, have we? Should we go and fix that? So we want the pitot heat on probably, although it's a lovely warm day. Strobe lights on, and we'll put the landing lights on just so other people can see us by our landing lights along the way. We've got live weather on, but I've advanced the time slightly because it's still very early in the morning. If I go and show you. Oh, I suppose we can kind of get away with it now. So over the next little while it will brighten up, but maybe for the next airport, so we don't not see it, we'll advance time a little bit. Okay, so let's go and reduce the range. So we're expecting to find this airstrip up on top of the hill. Somewhere. Okay, can anybody see an airstrip? Let's have a little look at the map. So it should be at about 2 o'clock, and it's parallel with our track. I can't actually get the focus back to the sim, so it's over here somewhere. Is that it down here? I think I might advance the time a little bit more, just so we get a good visuals on it. Flight Sim's been really playing up today with the mouse control and the speakers, to be honest. So, is this it? Or is it further down? No, it's off the right side. Let's look at this from outside. Ah! We're approaching it, perpendicular to it. So we want to land uphill, so if we turn left. So it was hidden behind the tree line. There's the strip. That's a bit of a hazardous one, isn't it? So, extending the flaps. I'm going to scoot myself forward in the seat slightly. I can still see the... it just helps me see around the corner. There's the strip. It would help if the reflections weren't smearing everything through the windscreen. I have to sit up in the corner of the windscreen to get rid of the smearing. I think I had a lot more room here than I anticipated, so I could have come in a lot faster. It was a bit of a thump more than a landing, wasn't it? Okay, let's go and taxi up to the far end. And we'll have a look around. I'll have to start the engine when we come back. So let's go to the drone camera and straighten the drone camera up. Why does it always roll? And we'll have a look around this airstrip. So this one is called Kora airstrip. So I'll take the head tracking off for a moment. So is there actually any wooden signs or anything saying Kora? Because some of them do. They have altitudes and things like that, but some of them don't. So we got some more wildfowl around the place. It's very cool, isn't it? It's going to be interesting to see what some of these sceneries look like in the new sim, how the new trees will integrate with the static trees that are in the scenery. Let's go further down and have a look. So we've got some more houses in the middle of the trees over here. Got some pigs, some chickens. This has turned into a bit of a wildlife expedition, hasn't it? So they're obviously growing something over here by their washing line. These trees are very good, aren't they? If this is a sign of what the trees might be like in the new one, I think it's going to be a bit of a treat, really. Okay, and have a look around. Okay, so this was... did I say it was called Kona? Let's just have I'll have another look in a moment. I'll just fly back up towards the aeroplane with the drone camera. Kora, sorry, not Kona. Okay, so now we're going to carry on across the next valley, and on the next hilltop to the south of us we should find Guwasa Airport. So let's go and find our way over there. So flaps for takeoff. Head tracking on. And we're in the air quite easily. So we needed to go south, didn't we? So we need to turn about. And it's just across the valley, apparently. So there's the strip we've just been on. So it should be just over there, I guess. Let's have a look at the map. Oh no, it's over that side. Okay. Oh, we can see it from here. It's over there, look. Oh, this is going to be a tricky one, isn't it? So which way's the wind? Let's have a look at the map. So, okay, there's only 2 knots. So we've got freedom as far as wind is concerned. So if we circle it and decide what we're going to do, I'm tempted to come in from this side. It looks like there's an incline. So up that way, up the airstrip. This is a de Havilland DHC2 Beaver. Just looking at the live stream comments about wondering what this is. Looks like a 1950s refrigerator inside. So there's our strip. We're going to have to figure out a way through this gap in the little hills here to come in. This is the only way in. Look, you couldn't come in from the other direction because it's too steep. Okay, so let's double back. So we're looking to fly through here to get to it. Doesn't help the sun is shining on the windscreens or the glass the whole time, and it's quite scratched up glass in this aeroplane, which is preventing us from seeing what we're doing. That's better. How are we doing for speed? So there's the airstrip. There's the gap in the hills. We're right on stall speed. I need to put a bit more power in. So I guess if we get this wrong, we have to accelerate and go left. So full flaps. This is an awesome airfield. I love stuff like this. So we don't want to get any slower than this. That'll do. We were on the stall limit coming in. We could have been faster again. I keep forgetting, because we've got these inclines, it makes it a lot easier. Just open the throttle gently just to keep the engine running while we're here. So let's go and have a look around. So there's a Pilatus, isn't it? I forget what the model name is. They always look like a garden shed that's been built wrong, don't they? Is it a PC6? I can never remember which one's which. So, am I using VR? No, I'm not. I'm using a Tobii Eye Tracker. So let's get up close to the edge. So it has actually got barbed wire. That's very cool, isn't it? And we're going to have a look around. So we've got houses with people. Same as with the others. Was there any more houses this end? Yeah, there's another one down there. This is really remote, isn't it? But what a nice approach that was to come in. It's a much bigger airfield than some of the others though, so it wasn't such a stressful approach. Okay, let's come down to our aeroplane and we'll move on to the next one. So let's have a look at the map. We're going to end up scribbling all over the map, aren't we, all the way? So we're going to go west over to Manina airstrip. So Alpha Yankee Echo Golf. And 1800 foot. And it's quite low down. So we'll see what we do when we get there. So it's 6 miles away. And the bearing is 255 degrees. Okay. get some speed on. Let's move the view around so we can actually see what we're doing. So we want to 50 degrees, don't we? So left turn, glide. There's 250. So, I'm just looking at the contours of the land. There's kind of a hilly area, and then it's going to be over there somewhere, isn't it? Or is it? No, over here, sorry. On the far side. So there's this main ridge that runs across. Presumably that's that one then. So it's down below it. Maybe. We'll find out in a moment. So Isan is saying, is a controller better than keyboard? I don't know how you could possibly use Flight Simulator with a keyboard. I've got analog controls for stick, throttles and rudder. So let's have a quick look at the map. Oh, we're way off. So it's down in this shallow by the look of it then. Because there's the main ridge line that was behind everything. So it's going to be down in here somewhere. That's going to be a bit of a nightmare. Oh, maybe it's over the top of this ridge then. Okay. Oh, okay. My scale was a bit out. The main ridge is over there. This is one of those smaller ones. In my head, I hadn't quite appreciated that. So we're all good. So let's just climb out. Yeah, we can see it. If I'd actually trusted in the GPS, that would help us, wouldn't it? So maybe we'll do that for the next few. We'll trust in the GPS. Playing with the power and the propeller all the time to try and get a happy medium between the two. So I'm using OBS to stream in response to the live stream comments there. There's the strip. So again, looks like we come in from this side. So let's prepare immediately. So look at the speed. Let's go full flaps immediately. We need to see the attitude indicator because we have no horizon. So we're going by instruments. So it looks like a fairly steep incline as well on the runway, so we can come in fairly fast and just bleed the speed off in the roll, as long as we touch down fairly early. And again, the light is not helping us. The creaking you can hear is the flaps being raised. Okay, we'll leave the engine ticking over, and we go and look around this airfield. So what's this building here? Oh, it's the fuel dump. It's a bit more basic than a modern airport. It's very cool, isn't it? It's very pretty. I've got the drone camera going quite fast, so it's quite difficult to manage it to go slow. Has he got goats down here? Looks like it. I think these strips, yeah, I don't know why people would be living up here on the hillsides. I guess you could, it's easy enough to go and do a Wikipedia search, isn't it, to find out about these areas in Papua New Guinea. Okay, so that one was Manina or Manina, not sure how you pronounce it. We're going to go for a bit of a trip now, 15 miles down to Horoa airstrip. Alpha Yankee Hotel X-Ray. So I may use the autopilot this time. Let's turn the head tracking back on. Okay, so if we are going to be using the autopilot, I ought to get things ready, didn't I? So we don't want to adjust that, we want to adjust the heading bug. So we're going to be travelling 120 degrees. So I'm just spinning the heading bug around on the edge of the, the edge of the directional gyro there, and we'll go heading mode. Oh, we can't until it's running, it's fine. But we're anticipating probably being about 5,000 feet, aren't we? So we'll see how we get on. So flaps to first position, full throttle, full propeller speed. As much speed as we can, and we're in the air. So, looking at the heading bug there, we want to turn right then to 120 degrees. There's this whacking great ridge in our way. Can we cross it, or can we? Maybe we could turn too far then on purpose, or that might be about 120 actually, looking at it. But we're going to need more than 5,000 feet, aren't we? So let's go and change the autopilot to 7. We'll clear this ridge by hand. Although it should do pitch hold, shouldn't it? Should we try it? So if we go and turn the autopilot on, it should do pitch and roll hold. And we'll let it carry on up to 7,000 feet. So we're doing okay at the moment, and we're holding about 90 knots. Feet a minute, up to 7,000. Although 7,000 is not going to be enough to clear that ridge, is it? I'm guessing that's here. We can see this big line, but my navigation hasn't been very good so far, so who knows? Yeah, we need a steeper climb rate. Let's go for 8,000 feet then. 1,500 feet a minute. So we need to clear this ridge. Whoa, what's going on? No, we're fine. That was just the wind. It's turbulence from the hills. We're down to about 75 knots. It seems to be stabilising though. But it's not happy, is it? Drop it back to 1,000. We are flat out on the engine. Of course, we're getting up into the thinner air. Keeping an eye. This is a bit problematic, isn't it? So let's go and pull it down to 700 feet a minute. Can we get some airspeed back? Yeah, it's creeping up. Just watching that needle. But that's going to put us in the hillside. So what we'll do, we're off to the left of the track. Ideally we want to go through that gap. But I think we might have to go further along the ridge. Let's go for it. Famous last words. I'm going to try and skim our way through this little gap. We've got loads of airspeed now, so we can up the climb rate again. I'm going to go manual. Got all this airspeed we can trade off to get through the gap. Of course, the autopilot has busily gone and cranked in as I took control an absolute bootful of aileron trim, which I'm now unwinding. In fact, I can't get it to unwind it. So my only option may be to put the autopilot back on to get it to remove it. Just avoid that hill. Okay, there we go. So I've put the autopilot back on, which will crank out the trim itself. And we want to go then measure. 103 degrees, which has got this ridge in the way, so we're not going to be doing that. We're going to be going around. So this is this hill here, so we're probably going to get to here, aren't we? So we're going to need to come in from over there. How are we doing in terms of altitude? We're still gently climbing. Let's go for altitude hold. We're at 8,500, aren't we? So, heading mode, pull us back round to 120. So we want about 85 degrees. Just got enough altitude to clear this ridge. So the airfield, Horoa or Horoa, is at 4,700 feet. So we got to lose 4,000 feet in about 5 miles. It's down the other side of this lump here. So there's this huge lump here with a circular top, which is here. Look, it's just down the other side of it. So let's go manual. And put the head tracking back on. Put ourselves back in the cockpit. I might change the time, you know, so we don't get this sun in our face the whole time. It's a bit of a pain, isn't it? So we went to the afternoon. It's a bit easier to see what we're doing. We have no GPS position apparently. I wonder why. So, yeah, the airfield is the other side of this ridge. It looks like a crater, doesn't it? Like a caldera. Maybe it is. So, does this have any form of aileron trim? Because it's massively out. The autopilot's done it to me again. So we're going to go around this hillside and we should find an airfield around the other side. Have a look at the map to show you. It should just come into view any moment. Is that the end of it there? I think it might be. It's looking hopeful, isn't it? So which way was the wind in the valley? 3 knots from the side, so there's hardly any wind to deal with again. So if we come out to the left and line up with the runway, of course that where I played with the weather, it's still running the other way now, isn't it? So if we went back to real time, I think we leave on real time now. We're a bit fast. Yeah, this is not looking good. We're too fast and too high. So we'll just glide in steep and then pull it up and bleed the speed off on the way up the hill. Get the tail wheel into the floor before we start trying to do anything with the aeroplane, and try not to go down the other side of this hill. It's a bit of an adventure, isn't it? Okay, let's go and have a look around. So straighten the drone camera up, which is tipped over for no reason. I wonder if they'll fix that in the new sim. Looks amazing down here, doesn't it? So what was this airfield called again? This is Horoa, if that's the right pronunciation. Horoa. Okay, this one has some sort of thing on the roof. Oh, it's just a fix on the roof. It's very cool how there's a curve in the runway, isn't it? It's not very straight at all. Okay, let's go back up to our aeroplane. And we're going to try and get out of here and go for the next one. So, if we get the heading bug in place. So what's the altitude of the next one before we do anything? So we're going to Gimmi next. So somebody was asking, oh, let me go and turn off edit flight plan, there we go. You were asking which ones we're going to. Gimmi, Simogu, Kasanombi, Yamet, Noain, Sapmanga, Dangat, Isan, Tep, Banbu, Nanina, Nahua, Nahu and Guhu. So if you look on the map, we've got a bit of a stretch after the next couple. We've got to rest, so I'll stick it on the autopilot and go and make myself a coffee on the way. before we do this absolutely crazy run through the rest. So 12 miles and 90 degrees, or thereabouts. Let's see how we get on then. How are we doing for fuel, by the way? So we've used a fair amount of the middle tank. So we'll switch to rear for a bit. Hold the attitude. If anybody wants to join in, you're welcome to join me. I'm on the Southeast Asia server in Flight Simulator. So, yeah, we've just left Horoa. So, Alpha Yankee Hotel X-Ray. We're on our way to Alpha Yankee Golf Delta. So we want about 90 degrees then. So what altitude are we at? Coming up through 6,500 feet. If we go for 8,500 again, so if I just arm that, of course it doesn't work correctly because half these aeroplanes don't work properly. Go for 1,000 feet a minute and hopefully we'll climb enough to clear this peak. Turn off head tracking for a bit. Okay, so we're on our way to Gimmi airstrip. So I have a challenge for anybody. Anybody who wants to criticise my flying, I challenge you to join in with us and show us all how it's done. This is, I'm here to have fun, to have a look at the scenery and to wrestle an aeroplane around the short airstrips. Get a bit more speed without the flaps now. Yeah, look, it's struggling without the flaps. Got the warning going off, but it should go away because we'll pick up airspeed. Look, it's just gently climbing. This doesn't behave itself at all, look. If I go back on here, it won't let me change the rate. It's a bit broken. Does this plane have a float option? Yes, it does. Obviously, I'm not using it. Well, I guess tyres float, but no, there's a proper version with floats. Okay. So, if we go and hit the altitude button again. We are. See, it's completely ignored going to 8,500 feet, look. It's up at 8,700 and something. But then you can't arm them because it doesn't work properly. Okay, so we've got about another 6 miles to go, and then we're going to be descending back down. So should we go and start it doing that, or try to get it to do that? We'll say 6,500 feet. You'll see what I mean now. Look, you can't arm it, but we can do this. So we'll come down at 500 feet a minute now. Hopefully, wow, that might not clear that ridge actually. Let's say 100 feet a minute for a little while. Zooming along, 120 knots. Just give it enough power to maintain that. So, where is the airstrip? So we've got a ridge in front of us, then another one, and then the airstrip. It's difficult to see with the reflections, isn't it? So there's the ridge. There's the other one. It's down here. Is that it? I think we can already see it. Up in the clouds. Almost looks like a golf course down here, doesn't it? The way the trees have appeared. So, Gimmi airstrip. So there's the strip. Which way's the wind? So 6 knots now, so we're going for runway 02 with a bit of a crosswind by the look of it. So we're going to be going over this way. So let's go and cut the autopilot. I think that's cut it off, yes it has. Put the head tracking on because it's super helpful for looking sideways. Let's go and extend the flaps. Oh hello, I can hear a jet. No doubt somebody's appeared in something I haven't got installed, so it's going to appear as an A300, regardless of what it is. I was reading earlier, apparently the reason the multiplayer won't match between the two sims is quite apart from the multiplayer being rewritten, the model matching has been completely rewritten. So let's go and side slip this in. Look at that side slip. That's crazy, isn't it? We're going that way. Someone hasn't got the scenery look. So they're appearing levitating. I'll just start the engine up and put the brake on. Okay, let's go and have a look around this scenery. Look at that, the drone camera's tipped over about 40 degrees while we weren't using it. Chickens. And some more pigs and chickens. Let's go and have a look at the houses over this side. They do look amazing, don't they, these airfields? Right, so speed the drone camera back up, come back to the aeroplane, and we've got about a 20-mile leg over to another airport then, and then we've got to rest. So let's go and get the flaps up. Come off the parking brake. Actually, before we go anywhere, let's go and have a look. So we're wanting to go 110 degrees, basically, for 20 miles over to Simu strip. 110 degrees then. Let's go and put that on the heading bug before we set off. 110. Okay, left turn glide. So if we trim that out on the elevator trim, and we're at 5,700 feet, so if we climb up to 6,500, or no, 7,500 even. Do it at 1,000 feet a minute. Run the engine flat out. I don't think it will hurt it. There's the track. So we want a few degrees to the left. So Andy's saying, how am I using sequential braking? What do you mean by sequential braking? I'm just using, I've only got a button for brakes. So I have digital braking, if that's what you mean. This aeroplane's fairly straightforward to fly, and most of these airfields are on an incline. So I typically, as soon as I'm on the ground, I am full backstick to force the tail wheel into the floor, and a little bit of power to keep thrust over the rudder to stop it ground looping. Yeah, I think they mean differential braking. I'm not using differential braking. I'm forcing the tail wheel into the floor with the elevator, keeping thrust over it, and then it controls steering quite easily. That may not be accurate to the real plane, of course, which probably does use differential braking, but it's what the sim does. So is it going to level out? Yeah, look, there we go. 7,500 feet and is winding out the climb rate. So we want a couple of degrees to the left. Oh, I'm not on heading mode, that'll be why. Of course, we've got the magenta line there, we may as well use nav mode. But it's not going to pick it up because we're too far away from it. So if we put ourselves on an intercept angle, that's why it's showing heading and nav down here. If we cross onto the line, it will go to nav mode on its own. I'll follow the track. No hurry. Okay, now we're flying along, we can pull the throttle back a bit. And the propeller. Not on a race. And we have the plane floats behind us. Okay, let's have a look where we're going. Simogu. So where did we say, if we go and show information on Simogu, 4,800 feet elevation. Wind on the ground at Simogu is variable 3 knots, so no wind. Nothing to worry about anyway. Sure we're not going to run into a hillside anytime soon. Oh look, he's coming in for an attack. Okay, where's my plane suddenly started turning? Oh, it's the it's got close enough to the GPS track that it's gone and put itself on an intercept. It'll turn right again now. It's a good job I'm watching, isn't it? We could have ploughed into that hillside. Yeah, see what it's done? It got close enough for the nav to take over. Okay, so this tells you how far, doesn't it? So 10 miles to run. We're halfway there. So we'll have a look around Simogu and then we'll set off on the long run across to Kasan on the other mountain range across the way. Okay, so how are we looking? There's the airfield. So this is the altitude view. If you didn't know it can do this, the GNS can show you anything that's at your altitude level in the hereabouts. It's quite clever. It's very 1980s in the way it displays it though. You don't get a background of the actual hills. I actually prefer just having the rose mode. So 6 miles to run. I guess we could put this on the data display, couldn't we, down here? Then you get both quite nicely. Oh, I'm just getting comfortable. And I could do with stretching my legs actually, so I'm quite looking forward to that longer leg so I can get the aeroplane set up on the autopilot and go and have a wander. Been sat down too long today. Oh, we have close formation. Yeah, that's the only problem, isn't it, with the normal external view, is you can't move it away. Obviously you can with the drone camera. So we can get nice views. Oh, he's getting too close, look, he's pixelating. There we go. Anyway, we need to start thinking about where is the airfield. So it's directly down here in front of us. There it is. So I'm going to take the autopilot off and I'm going to dive away from our accompanying pilot. And try to get a view of this airstrip. So we can choose our way in because there's no wind. It looks like we come in from this side, doesn't it? So, what are we doing for speed? We're too fast for flaps yet. Okay, so now we're in flaps range. manhandling the aeroplane to get it down. I'm side slipping it into the hillside to lose height in a hurry, and then we'll pull it back round. And it's an incline which will bleed our speed off for us. Have another hovering aeroplane. Okay, let's go and have a look around then with the drone camera. It's very cool, isn't it? Come back at the other side. Okay, so the next leg is the long one where I'm going to go and take a break. I'll stick it on autopilot. So looking at the elevation plot on LittleNavMap, we will need to get to about 11,000 feet then. And we'll leave it on nav mode. So it should already be lit up, and it is. So we're going to do a right turn out of here, which is good because that heads us past that hill over there. We'll have a look at the fuel while we're in the air, maybe switch tanks again. So I'm not going to go straight for the course because that would mean going straight for that ridge, which would not be ideal. So we're going around. So how are we doing for fuel? Rear is getting low. We're going to switch to front then. So we need 11,000 feet, don't we? So let's get the autopilot on. Nav mode. And we'll go for 11,500 just to give ourselves a bit of a... Go 600 feet a minute to get that. And then they'll set the power within limits. Actually it's fine where it is. And we'll set the RPM so it doesn't blow the engine to bits. And set the view so you get to enjoy the scenery along the way. And while I go and have a rest, I'll put... this is a new machine, isn't it? Okay, you're going to see how to get a minimal view in LittleNavMap. So what you do is you turn everything off, show status bar, show the window docking, show the movie. So you turn everything off basically. Oh, that's going to be a problem with that though, isn't it? Hang on then. So get rid of that. Get rid of that. It's a shame there's not one button to remove all of them. You have to go and do all of this. So you can go and get rid of everything, turn that off, so then you get a nice little minimal view of LittleNavMap. Then what you can do in the window menu is save that window layout, and I'm going to call this minimal. And then I can call it up just by loading it in the future. So now I'll put that over in the corner of the screen here, and I'll go into taskbar settings and make it automatically hide the taskbar when it's not needed. And there we go. So now you get a nice view of the aeroplane, and it hasn't picked up the track, has it? Stupid aeroplane. So we're in nav mode, but we're going to go heading get mode for the moment. So we want it to go about... That drifts alarmingly, doesn't it? Heading and nav. So it completely ignored the... We're in GPS mode, so why did it ignore the track? Answers on the postcard. So there's that hill we need to get over. So we're going to go for a higher climb rate. And the nav's picked up. Brilliant. So it's put itself on an intercept angle. So if you look closely here, it should turn right now. There it goes. Are we going to clear the hillside though? Or am I going to have to go and intervene and put us on an orbit? We're still going really fast, so maybe we can get away with a bit higher climb rate, so 1,000 feet a minute. Let's see how it goes. So let's open Navigraph. Someone just asked a quick question before I go and stretch my legs. It's over here, isn't it? Navigraph. Unload. And a new flight. I think I've got the list. Oh no, I haven't got the list of airports still. So let's go in here. Go File. Copy to the clipboard. Paste it in here. Delete that. Yeah. Navigraph hasn't got any of these airfields, but we can at least see the map, and we can go world map, So it's got the kind of colour-coded view. It's not as good as the Google Terrain view that you can unofficially add to LittleNavMap though. I think we're going to be okay to get over this hill. We can see actually on LittleNavMap, if we go back in here and go to Window and open the elevation profile, there we go, look, we'll be fine. It projects it. We're going to 11,500, aren't we? Which will be just enough. Right, I'm going to go and stretch my legs. I'll be back in a few minutes. Although I'm a bit paranoid now to see if we do get over this hill or not. I think we'll be fine. So back in a minute. It's stalling, isn't it? So much for it surviving. And now the autopilot's doing its usual trick where it would just hang it. Okay, let's take it off autopilot. Suddenly start doing it, look. So it was fine running along at 100 knots and it suddenly lost all of its speed. I'm just winding out the elevator trim that it fed in. And put the autopilot back on, look, and it immediately tries to kill itself. And it's just got away with it, look. Okay. The question is now, has nav still worked? So I don't think it has, you know. It's flying away from the track with no indication that it was anywhere close to it. So we're going to have to use heading and then nav again. It's all a bit broken, isn't it? Okay, I really am going to go and step away for a few minutes now. Now the panic's over. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. So, a few people are asking while we're en route, the route, or where we're going. So you can see the madcap finale. So, Kasan, Yamet, and then is that Yawan, is that? Then Sapmanga, Dangat, Isan, Tep, Bamboo, Nanina, Nahua, and Guhu. So it's going to be a bit crazy. We might just do touch and goes to speed things up a bit rather than stopping at every airfield, because I have covered all of these ones before in another video where I stopped at each one and got out and had a look around. So if I can do touch and goes, I will. Obviously, if they're kind of if there's no route out to get away with doing a touch and go, then I won't be doing that. So is this Guhu airstrip a bit of a nightmare then? It looks like it's on top of a ridge. That looks okay. But this one, let's have a little look round while we're... So that's on the side of a hill, which is fine. That one's on top of a ridge. That one's on top of a ridge. That's on quite an incline. Look at the contour lines. So I'm guessing that means you come in from this direction, because that's going upwards. That's uphill in that direction, but on a ridge. This is very short and steep. So that's looking like a dangerous one, Dangat. This one's a bit longer and fairly flat, so that doesn't look too bad. This is quite long, and it's quite a gentle incline. So coming in from the north. Then Yamet is fairly flat. It's probably the flattest of all of them, and very long. That's going to be easy. Look at that hillside. And this is the one we're just coming into, which is on an incline. So 16, 17, 18. So we'll approach from this direction to make the incline work. We've got a little way to go yet. Just coming across the map over here. About halfway across the big leap across. Yeah, I'm flying into these blind. Just looking at the live stream comments, I haven't scouted this out ahead of time. I just thought, let's go and grab the ICAO codes for all of the airports, stick them into a flight plan, and we'll see if we can fly it. How are we doing on fuel? So, rear tank is getting... Front's down to 12, middle's down to 12, rear is getting low. And we're using the front tank at the moment. So we might pretend to refuel at the next airfield to see if we can get through all of the rest on one tank of fuel. Kasan. So this is saying over here we've got 37 miles to run. It's going to take about 18 minutes to get there at the speed we're doing. And we got a message. Yeah, we know what course to set. So I don't think this tablet does much, does it? You can open the doors, you can turn on and off the appearance of people. So 5,600 feet altitude for Kasan, and it's on. Now let's just prove this before we go and make any rash decisions. So we want to show the elevation profile. So there's us, and there's Kasan. Okay, so there's no major hills in the way, so we can come back down to about 8,000 feet, 7,500 feet even, without causing any major problems. So we'll do that. So in the aeroplane, we're going to go and wind this back to 7,500 and press Alt and tell it to come down at 500 feet a minute. We've got plenty of time. You see that's happening now, so it's gently coming off. We'll wind the throttle back a little bit to allow for the descent, or not too much though. We don't want to lose too much speed. I'm just going to step away for a couple of minutes. Okay, the weather's coming in, isn't it? I think it's just, once you get past this big cloud here, there's not much around. I'm not sure if Navigraph will show us any more. No, it's just spotty bits of cloud. Come out the other side in a few moments. Not a big problem. There we go. And we'll be going below that cloud over there to get into the airstrip, I think. So we got 20 miles to run, 8 minutes. How are we doing on fuel? Should go for the middle tank again. Have to refuel when we get to this airfield. Hey, someone else has got an AeroPress. They're fantastic, aren't they? We've just got a Nescafe, what's it called? Dolce Gusto coffee machine, the ones that take the little pods. But we've got an AeroPress on the shelf in the kitchen as well. Had it for about 20 years. It's fantastic. Okay. 16 miles to go. Hopefully we'll come out the other side of this cloud and be able to see where we're going. If not, we'll have to start carefully descending. What altitude are we down to now? Just coming down to 7.5, which is what we were aiming for. Just in time. Hope we come out of this cloud in a few moments. Otherwise the whole nature of this flight will be brought into question. Please clear. Today would be good. There we go. Yeah, it was just a bit of cloud to fly through. We're fine. 13 miles. And we need to lose some more altitude, but I think it is beyond this ridge. Let's have a look at the map. So I think the ridge that we can see is there. So it's way beyond that. It's on the side of the valley. It's up there. You can see it. That's the valley we're heading for. Okay, that's nice and straightforward then. So, taking another look to remind ourselves, It's inclined, so it's uphill in this direction, so we want to stay over the middle of the valley and then come in towards the hillside, and that will be into the wind as well, which is helpful. So you can see we're just coming in over here, so we could do with staying over the middle of the valley. So what I'm going to do is change to just calibrated the compass there. We're going to change to heading mode. I've just told the aeroplane to turn a little bit to the left. And then we'll see the airfield on the right side of the valley. So we said here, if we go, whoops, not if we go oops, but it's 5,600 feet, so we're 2,000 feet above airfield elevation at the moment. We've gone a bit too far there, haven't we? So if we bring down the altitude another 1,000 feet, .500 feet a minute. And we'll bleed some of that speed off on the way in as well. So obviously we'll go manual as soon as we've got some idea where the airfield is. I think it's that. Maybe. Or is it further up? There's a ridge and then another hill. So it's difficult to tell, isn't it? Maybe that's the other hill, so it's not as far away as we think. So it could be that. That bold patch on the side of the mountain. Just looking at the way that there's a gap there. Look, there's a ridge behind which matches that. I think that's probably it. Yeah, it's there, look, you can see there's a clearing in the trees. So I've just disabled the autopilot, so we're in control again. We're down almost to flap speed now, which is good. That looks incredibly steep, doesn't it? Is that the beginning of the runway there? And then you run up the hillside. Or am I reading that wrong? I think I'm reading it wrong. It's not that part of the hill, it's beyond the tree line. So we're going to be pulling up fairly steeply to roll in on this one. I think I've seen a missionary bush pilot do this airport. It's the one where he did a go around and had another go at it. I think it's this one. This looks so familiar. So we've got full flaps, we're coming in about 80 knots, which should give me enough speed to be able to rotate without causing a stall. So which side do we go for, or does it really matter? I'm going to go for this left side because of that whacking great tree. I kind of forced that into the ground quite hard on purpose. Yeah, you can see the incline, look at the houses. How steep that is, oh my word. That's incredible. What an amazing place. Okay, we are going to have a look around this place. And again, look, the drone camera has done it again. That is so steep. So you can see the incline look from this view. If you look at the horizon compared to the hillside. Okay, I need to get some fuel, don't I? So let's go and sort that out while we're here. We're going to fill it right up, which is not going to be fun trying to land with, well, we got no payload, so. Okay, jump inside, whoops, wrong key, and put the head tracking back on. So we can see down our death-defying hillside. We're going to start the engine again. And we're going to go, and we have to figure, we better figure out where we're going next. 17 miles north, basically, to Yamet. We'll see on the GPS anyway. So one stage of flaps, you can see they've been wound in. And down the hill we go. Going for that corner, remember, because of the lower tree line. Okay, we're turning north. Or maybe not immediately. We'll see what hills are in the way, I guess. We might have to circle now and again on various legs of this trip. So if we carry on along the valley, and then we'll cut back. So we're going to have to use the attitude indicator a fair bit because we can't see any horizon anywhere. Apparently, you know the problem with the ghosted horizon through hills? That's been solved in the new sim apparently. It's not a problem anymore. Okay, so we need to climb. I'm going to see if we can... how much can we get away with leaning this out? Yeah, we're going the wrong way. If we can jump across this ridge, it would be really useful. I think we're going to be okay. So we've got a 20-mile hop to the next airfield. We'll have a look at it in a moment and figure out what our approach into it will be. So we're zigzagging through the passes in the hills. So we're going straight up here, I think. I didn't anticipate this, that we'd end up having to... yeah, we're going straight up this valley, look. And then that hopefully opens out towards Yamet. So let's get the heading bug sorted out. Where is the heading bug? Okay, that's the direction we want to be going. So we'll go and put the heading on. We probably want about another 10,500 feet though, don't we? Yeah, we're going to have to circle in this valley to get over the top. There's no way we're going to make that. So, to give ourselves half a chance of doing that, I'm going to turn off the heading bug, sorry, the head tracking, whoops, and then let's pull ourselves round. So I'm just trying to get this right. We're going to go to one side of the valley and then basically tell the autopilot to turn us in a circle and let it chase the heading bug for a bit. We're going to get really tight to one side of the valley first because we're going to need the whole of this area to circle. A bit of creative use of the tools available to us. I'm going to fly it by hand. Be easier. Okay. So all we're doing really is using the turn coordinator and looking at the attitude indicator and trying to fly a fairly consistent turn. Maintain airspeed, maintain pitch. Obviously it's made more difficult because you can't see any horizon of any consequence, so we can keep an eye on climb rate here. If we keep trying to maintain about 800 to 1,000 feet a minute. Turn the head tracking back on because then we have some ability to look around. Yeah, someone else coming in, look, they're going to have exactly the same problems probably, unless they cheat and use slew. By the time we turn again, we should have enough altitude to make it over the top. So we're going for that far corner. You know, I'm not sure we've still got enough. We'll see. So what's the best climb rate we can get out of this thing? If I pull the nose up to hold the indicated airspeed at about 80 knots. That might be enough by the time we get over to that corner. We're not giving ourselves much of an out though, although we can always dive off over that side. Yeah, we can get through here, look. Let's do that. Because then we can turn right before that next ridge. Almost up to 100 knots. We've got plenty of airspeed now. On top of the world nearly, and you can see the horizon out in the distance, or the ocean I should say. And there's a view you don't see every day. Okay, so we turn north again. And start descending. So we eventually ended up yeah, about 12,000 feet before we started descending. Okay, so we are 6 miles out from the next airfield. Going to be there in about 3.5 minutes. So while we are just tracking, it's going to be the other side of this hill, isn't it? Just looking at the GPS there. So while we're tracking over there, let's go and find out information about this one, Yamet. So it's at 2,500 feet. We've got a lot of height to drop. So this ridge is this one here. Then there's another one, but we can follow the valley round to it. Okay. We could follow that valley, but we'll jump over the next one. So, following this, we scoot down there and then to the right. So where's the water? So it's halfway. Must be over there somewhere. Oh, is that it? Oh, we can see it right in front of us, look. There's the airstrip. So we really have got a descent to make. Let's come off the throttle then. Let's see if we can side slip this down the hillside. So, which way was the wind? There is no wind. Okay, this is saying this is much closer than I thought. Oh, maybe not. Unless I've got the wrong airfield here. There's not another one, is there? No. It's just the scale on the map was deceiving. So, flaps down. We'll come in from this side. And we'll go for a touch and go, rather than a full stop. So obviously I'm going to need to avoid these hills. Whoa. Nearly had a big accident then. The airplane was trying to spin. There's a massive tree in the middle of the runway. So we have to avoid it and go round it. Is it a tree? Yeah, it is, isn't it? That's just great. So we're going to try. Yeah, you'd have to come in from the other end normally, I imagine. Okay, we are going for a full stop then, because there's no way we're going to have time for a touch and go. That was a bit scary. I've done that so many times myself. Right, I think this is the best way to take off. If I don't stall the engine. So, full RPM, full power. Let's see how we go. One stage of flaps. Get as much ground speed as we can. And avoid the trees. And we're out. Good. And then we do a death spiral around this hillside. And we're out of there. That was a bit hairy, wasn't it? Okay, so we're going left. Oh crikey, does that mean we've got to clear this hill? way around? No, it's even worse over there. So we need to clear this way. Let's have a look at this on the map, see what it looks like. Okay, so we're taking the shallower route, but we need to get to altitude. So we can follow, we can go round and come up this ridge, I guess, if we don't drive into the side of the hill first. Should we turn those landing lights off? They're getting a bit in our way, aren't they? So holding 90 knots, which is pretty good going. Getting further and further away from our track though, which is a bit annoying. How are we doing for fuel? So we've used up quite a lot of the middle tank already. To be turning back left. So is this the entrance we were on about, the ridge? Yeah, I think it is. Now is it this one or that one? I think it's the next one. If we turn here, that doesn't really go anywhere, does it? No. Okay, this looks more like it. Looks lovely and flat down there, doesn't it? And here's us trolling around, climbing up steep hillsides and trying to land on impossible little dirt airstrips because we're clever. Okay. So we're coming back towards our track. We're 6 miles away from our destination. So if we can get over the top of this ridge, which is not guaranteed, we may have to extend along the ridge. Just watching that indicated airspeed, seeing what's the best climb rate we can get. I could drop some flaps, but I'd rather not. I'd rather have speed. Will be okay. It's going to be a close one. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, and we can see our next airfield has turned up on the GPS now. So what direction is it? And which way is the wind? Okay, it's going to be a crosswind. It's at 4,700 feet. And we're now at 9,000 feet. So can we follow this ridge all the way down to it? No, not really. Okay, so we're not going to descend too much immediately. We'll wait until we come around the corner and get some idea of what we're dealing with. Unless we can cut across this hilltop. Straight line it. Okay, start looking out for airstrips, I guess. It's going to be somewhere down there, isn't it? On the other side of the valley. Now, is it that? Or is it somewhere else? I think it might be, you know. So looking at the shape of those, there's a ridge there, or there's an outcrop there, another one there, a bit like a dog's foot. But that doesn't match what we're seeing here very clearly. It's on the middle one. Unless it's below us. And we're thinking far too far away. There it is. Yeah, we were thinking far too far away. Okay, so which way did we say for the wind? From this end. Okay, so we just need to get down. Oh my word. Flaps to maximum, engine to idle, and so I guess we rotate round right. How much clearance have we got with hillsides? Not much. So if we aim for those trees on over here and then side slip it down the hillside, we might be able to get in fairly straightforwardly. Okay, there's the airstrip. We're losing altitude all the time, quite handily, which is good. Side slipping to the left at the moment. Right wing down. Come out of the side slip. And just manage the speed. Okay. There's obviously a scenery difference there, isn't there? Okay, straight line. Straight over round. Well, we're going to go round this hill, we're not going to go over it. So 3.5 miles to the next one. Let's have a look at the route then. So we can follow this valley round and it will take us straight to it. So the next one, Sapmanga, is at 3,000 feet and it's fairly flat, so we can choose our route into it really. So we're currently at 5,000, so let's go and start descending. We're a couple of thousand feet above airfield elevation. Four and a half thousand feet, so we're now 1,500 feet above airfield elevation. Let's level that out and see if we can spot it as we turn the corner, and then we'll figure out how we're going to approach. Okay, where is it? The other side of this ridge by the look of it. Or on the ridge maybe. Okay, we might have to do some manoeuvring here, unless we cheat and look at the map. Okay, it's here on the hillside. There it is. So that suit's coming in from the other side. There's no way we could come in because there's an incline downwards, isn't there? So we go back over that ridge, do a U-turn and come back in. Yeah, because they've cut the trees, look at this end. To give you a route in, this is going to be a fun one. You see where they cut the trees there? So we'll extend out this way a little way. Flaps down. I've lost the airfield. There, no. Was that it over there? I'm right over the top of it. So if we look outside, there's the cut area. So I'm going to circle again. So even with head tracking, I lost the airfield. So back out over this ridge. I'll turn a bit tighter this time. 80 knots is good. Give myself more running if we go beyond this ridge and then turn into the valley. It's in there, isn't it? Told you it was fun. Okay. Left turn. And there's a sodding great hill in the way. Let's see what way we can find of getting past this. So how many miles is it? 9 miles to the next one, but we need to get over this hill or go around it. Oh, can we get through a different route maybe? Might have to fly up and down here a couple of times looking for gaps, unless I have a quick look at the map, of course. Yeah, we should be okay actually. If we can follow this around, we'll have enough room and then turn right out of the top. So we'll be looking to carry on round here. And then turn right. It's good practice though. Sip of tea. I made a hot tea earlier. I didn't make coffee in the end. are we doing for speed? Down to 80 knots. This is getting a bit fine, isn't it? We're on maximum power, maximum propeller speed. And we're down to 80 knots and we don't have much room. Oh, we could turn left if we don't think we're going to make it. We might get some foliage in the wheels at this rate though. I'm really pushing it. I'm easing more and more. Elevator in. Are we going to do it? 60 knots. Just about. That was close. Okay, and we are now on our way back to the next airfield. So let's go and have a look and see where it is. So we'll pull the throttle back now and pull the propeller back. So it's just across this hilly bit, there's a gorge, and the other side there's a bit of a hollow. It's 5 miles that way. So is it down here? That would be the hollow area, wouldn't it? Oh no, it's further away, I think. Looking at those contour lines, it might not even be in view to us at the moment. So we're coming up to this ridge. There's one ridge and another ridge. That's that ridge that we're just crossing. It's over here somewhere. I don't think we can see it. It's hidden behind this ridge. So Chattanooga's on about panicking about getting over ridges. We always had the out that we could turn left. Yeah, it's just down the other side of this ridge, look. So we just need to keep an eye out for the runway now. And then figure out how we're going to come in. So we have a look at the wind again. So 3 knots. So it looks like, well, it's uphill from 11 by the look of it. So it would make sense to double back on ourselves to come in up the hill. So there's the strip. So we come in from this side. Okay. And then do a U-turn to get back out again. Flaps on to get some drag. And extend out this way a little way. And open the throttle back up. There's the strip. Keep an eye on the attitude indicator, remembering it's uphill. If you want a good look around any of these, I recorded a video some time ago looking at packs 1 and 2. How are we doing for fuel? Do I need to switch tanks yet? We've used half the middle tank. Let's go for a different tank then. Use re-up for a while. Oh, we've got another plane coming in. Yeah, there's a difference in the scenery again, look. Okay, so coming out of here we're going to turn right, which we can see on the GPS anyway. Sorry about that, that was me scratching my face and it threw out the head tracking. So we've got to go, how many? 10 miles. So it's on top of that ridge. Let's have a look at the map. Yes, it is. It's over the top. So we'll go for best climb rate again immediately, so we're not in a panic. Yeah, I'm using head tracking. I'm using a Tobii Eye Tracker. So obviously if I move things in front of my face, or I move my hand, for example, to scratch my face, it throws it out. So I'll do it now to show you. See? Oh, then it doesn't. So if I move my... yeah. It makes it very erratic if there's something in its way between the camera and my face. So you have to be careful about, like, yeah, just then I scratch my nose and it threw the camera sideways. So you do need to be quite careful with it. Just reading the comments there about thinking about getting the PC-12 from Simworks Studios. I am kind of thinking, unless anybody gives me aeroplanes like any of the developers over the next month, I'm not going to buy anything more for 2020. I'm going to wait now. Having said that, the makers of the TDS GTN XI reached out to me this week where they'd made a version of it for another aeroplane. I can't remember what it was now. Is it the new Sierra GA plane that's come out? And they were asking if I'd do a video on that, which means I'd have to go and buy a Sierra. But the trouble is, I don't know how much interest there is in aeroplanes for 2020 anymore, with everybody knowing that 2024 is coming. So who's going to bother buying airplanes that were built for 2020 when they have a shelf life of 1 month? And, you know, until something better might come out for 2024. So I'm flying what I've got for the next few weeks and making up madcap routes like this. I'll probably go and fly some of the tube liners. I haven't flown like this 777 or the A320 or the 737 for ages. I did saying that I did a group flight with the 777 last night, really as a test of the new computer, just to see that I'd got everything installed okay, and it seemed to be okay. Okay, so just coming across the top of this ridge. So what altitude was the next airfield? Isan. 7,000 feet, and we are at more than that. So does that mean we've got another death-defying descent to come? So we've got to lose 4,000 feet. It's going to be down in this valley, isn't it? Way down there it is, look. I presume it's that chalk strip in the side of the hill. It would make sense, wouldn't it? Or is it? It's got me thinking now. Is that the airstrip? No, it isn't. It's off our left wing. Or maybe that is it. Ah. Is this it here? Just looking at the GPS. Or no? Or is it up? No, it's on the ridge line. I can see it now. It's hidden in the trees from the angle we're approaching. Okay, so which way is the wind up here? 10 knots crosswind. Okay, that's fine. So we just need to figure out... We come in from the other end then. There's no way you could come in from this side. Or not easily anyway. Okay, so we'll extend out downwind. All this scenery, it's great, isn't it? Okay, so let's have a look at our airspeed. Flaps. And turnabout. Try not to stall and crash. Okay, it makes sense then to go around that great big tree. Go through the gap. should have gone the other side, shouldn't we? Trying to stop before we get to the top of the hill without ground looping and without ploughing through these trees. So it's trying to force the aeroplane into spinning. That was a bit death-defying. It's like a movie shot, isn't it, where you expect him to appear over the brow any moment. Here he comes. Of course, he's on slightly different scenery. How are we doing for fuel? So we're going to switch to front for a while. So we're going to go for which gap? This one. I think we might be picking leaves out of the wheels for a while. Okay, so which way next? Left. So what's the next airfield? Tep Tep. Now this is the one I said might be dangerous, wasn't it? Where there was looking like there might only be one way in. It looks like runway 12. But where's the airfield? It's on the hillside along here somewhere. Was it the top of the ridge or was it on the hillside? It's Tep Tep is at 7,000 feet. We are at 8,000. Looking for it at the moment. Whoa, what's that up there? That's not it, is it? You're joking. No, I think it's just over the ridge. So we want runway 12, so we want to be turning right, don't we? And we should see it out of the left window as we come over the ridge. Way down the hillside somewhere. There it is. So we want to drop in. We could come in from the other side as well. I think you can do this either way. Actually, no, that looks more like... Which way's uphill? Just trying to get some bearings. Yeah, we're going to loop around. This is not the end to come in at, is it? We'll go do a left-hand circuit around the airfield. It's quite a big one compared to the others, isn't it? An established airfield for a change. Whoa, my engine died. What did I do to it? Well, what didn't I do to it, I think, is more the apt question. Okay, keep turning right. We must be getting through these at quite a rate of knots now. Is there many to go? About 4 to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 4 to go. So the next one is 8 miles away. Just circling and trying to climb before we rejoin the track. So can we get to that ridge line? I don't know if we will be able to actually. may have to circle. Let's try and get some altitude immediately. Then we'll know if we're going to get there ahead of time or not. Down to 65 knots. Okay, let's turn away. Back to 80 knots. And we're still climbing at 1,000 feet a minute, which is good. Now we'll turn back again. And we'll hopefully get over the ridge and we can carry on our merry way. 6 miles to go till the next one. So the reason your engine's cutting is you shouldn't pull the Beaver's engine back to idle. It will kill it. Well, the one in the sim will anyway. Five miles to run. So let's have a look at this next airfield on the map briefly. Bamboo. It's on a ridge line, so it should be fairly straightforward. We're 3 minutes out from it. I think I can see it down there. It's perpendicular to us, yeah, it's that one on the ridge down there in the distance. Okay. So, which way is the wind? Let me just trim this out. Five knots, so it's looking like... Oh dear, I'll just sneeze and lose control of the airplane. It's looking like runway 07, isn't it, for the slope. So here it is below us. So it wasn't the one in the distance at all, it was this. So if we scoot around to the left. Okay, we're in flaps range now. They've cut the trees here, which is always a huge help. Apologies for the sudden aerobatic side slip there. Okay, right turn. How are we doing for fuel? Go to the front tank now. I know we were on the front tank, sorry. Oh, we'll leave it on the front for a while then. So, 2 miles to the next one. Maybe this is the one I saw that was not very far away on the ridge line. Yeah, here it is, look. It's just coming into view. So how best to approach it? We need to double back again, don't we? Maybe I give myself a bit more breathing space this time. If we look from this view, you can see there's the airport. Okay, 20 miles now, so we get a bit of a rest for a few minutes. Whew. So what altitude are we at? Just over 6,000 feet. Okay. Let's get this trimmed out so we don't have to hold on to the stick all the time. There we go. So we are on our way, slowly curving around towards the track to Nahua airstrip. Almost there. It's been a bit of a journey, hasn't it? Look, we've done how many airfields? So let's go for that low point on the ridge over there to cross over into the next valley. Have a look from outside for a while. We haven't been outside for a while, have we? If there are any other really big hills we need to clear along the way. So, Airbus Aviation says, do I like the Antonov 2 or the DHC-2 better? I don't really mind. I think the Antonov probably works better. This has so many things broken with it. But then, I don't think the Antonov's got an autopilot, has it? But the Antonov's a lot slower, obviously. And it's unstallable. Which would probably make it so easy to come into some of these airstrips with it. We've got to go over that mountain, haven't we? Unless we can go around it. Let's have a look at the map. See if we can make sense. It's that, isn't it? Should we go round? Over the top. Let's see how quickly we can gain altitude. Go straight over the top. 12 miles to run. Should take about 8 minutes at this speed, but obviously we can get some more speed up if we can level out. So the speed is creeping up and the ETE, or estimated time en route, is dropping off, so under 7.5 minutes now. we're going to get it to under 7 minutes. 650. Come on, how fast can we make this airplane go? Let's go and put the propeller up to flat out. Let's thrash the airplane for the last couple of legs. 6.5 minutes. 6 minutes 10 seconds. $5.50. $5.20. So obviously the faster we can go in a straight line, the quicker we get there. 10 miles out. So what we could do along the way, do we need to cross that mountain as well? Is that 10 miles away, do you think? I think it probably is, isn't it? We are shifting for the first time today, doing 130 knots. So the next airfield, Nahua, is at 6,500 feet. If we pull up the elevation profile, so yeah, look, we need to get over those hills. It's the other side of them. Transfer some of that speed into altitude. Or all of it, in fact. They'll probably have to fly along the ridgeline. You can see the coast out there, look. Loading for fuel. So should we go for the rear tank now? Go for that gap. So we're going to have to drop like a stone now down into the valley, but we've got to find the airport first. 4 miles out. And it's somewhere down below us. Can we see it from here? Is that it? Or is this it? No, it's off to the left of our nose. We might not be able to see it yet. over here somewhere. I don't think it's that one. Or is it? It's only 2 miles away, wherever it is. No, it is that one. It's on the opposite bank. Okay. Well, that makes it easy then. So we just turn left and then right and bring it in. Okay. Some trees in the way, but they shouldn't be too much of an obstacle. We're going for airspeed, 80 knots. We're looking good. There's 2 trees right in the way, look. So we're going to scoot to the left of them and then straighten up. Okay, wait for this guy to come in. I'll get my flaps ready for takeoff. Whew. Around the trees. Hey, we go again. Oh, he's gone off into the trees, I think. Whoops. Okay, so we need to turn right, but as you can see, there's an enormous hill in our way. So we're going to do a leisurely right turn and keep an eye on the GPS. So we've got 9 miles to run, and then we are at the end of this madcap run around all 3 of the Orbx Highland packs in Papua New Guinea. We have landed at every airport in the pack. I must be mad. Mind you, we haven't landed at the last one yet, so we'll save our self-congratulatory messages until we've survived. See, because look, that could have been a huge disaster if I turned this corner. Oh my word. So we're continuing on along the hillside for a while. Are we ever going to turn right? Let's have a look at the map, see where we are. Yeah, look, we are stuck at the moment. We're having to fly out to come back again. Does that make sense? There we go, there's a gap. We're right on the stall limit though. I'm not happy. Okay. So we need to turn right again. I think we need to go past this hillside, don't we? So if we go over there, I know it's a bit of a roundabout route, but it's better than trying to climb over that. Mind you, I don't know what's around this corner. It could be just that is the land level up there. So we're still 10 miles out. Whoa, turbulence. That was interesting. So we're going to head for this low point to cross over. That turbulence is fun. We've been lucky actually. We've seen hardly any weather along the way. We've been incredibly lucky. We will see the end of this tree, this mountain on honestly. This has been the most difficult route of the whole trip. We're having to fly around a mountain basically to get to where we want to go. Skimming ridges as we go. Okay. Just having a look at the map. So if we end up at Guhu, yeah, look, we're having to go and work our way around this whole range of mountains. If we zoom in on this map, you'll see why. Look at those contour lines. But then having made this turn, we should be able to turn straight for Guhu, I would imagine. So just out of interest, we are at 9,700 feet. What altitude is... So it's only at 4,000 feet, look, Guhu. Right, let's make this next turn. Seven miles to run. Six miles to run. This is the countdown there, isn't it? Okay, we can see the destination now on the GPS. So it's going to be worth having a look at the airfield to see. So it's on top of a ridge. So it's fairly flat. It's quite long. It's the longest we've seen for a long time. The wind is from the east, although that's where we are, not at the airfield. Variable 2 knots at the airfield, okay. So we should be able to come in runway 02. Just got to spot the airfield first. So we're 2 miles out. It was on the ridge, wasn't it? I think it's that one that's... Is it this or this? I think it's directly in front of us. So he's got to figure out the best approach really to land. Have a look at it, see if there's an incline. I mean, I don't know. It's difficult to tell from this angle, isn't it? I'm inclined to come in from the other end, because the trees have been cut at the other end, which would mean that's the way they're expecting you to approach. He's about to stall and go into the trees, and he's crashed. He went the wrong way. But that's how you learn, I guess. Yeah, there's trees in the way, look. Everywhere. We should be okay. Bit of a heavy landing, but given the short strip, we didn't have much choice than to just get it down and get it under control. I'm sorry, I'm going to put the wing through your hedge, I think. Okay. I think that's everything. Whew. So we did it. So we have a look around this final airfield. I've been here before, but it's still cool, isn't it? Let's watch this landing. Of course, it's different elevation, isn't it? So it looks strange again. Oh well. So yeah, the whole point of this evening was to show you the Orbx versions of these airports. And they're very good. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Hope you've enjoyed that this evening. That's the longest flight of this type I think I've ever done. So that was good fun. I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.